Keeping Latin Alive, Lesson 1, Grammar. First, let's talk about cases. Cases are essential to being able to read and understand Latin. So first, there are 5 cases in Latin. The nominative case, which is the subject, accusative, which is the direct object, dative is the indirect object, ablative is the object of the preposition, and genitive describes possession. So how do these work in an English sentence? Let's look at a simple English sentence first. The boy threw the dog the ball. So the boy is the nominative or the subject of the sentence. Threw is the verb. Dog is the indirect object or the dative. And the ball is the accusative or the direct object in the sentence. So declensions are basically just what category a noun fits into that you have to memorize, and then it helps you decipher which case the noun belongs to in the sentence. So as you can see, there's singular and plural for each case, and it's important that you memorize these to understand Latin. So now let's talk about the present tense verb. So the present tense verb translates to ing or s. So for example, is running, runs, is teaching, teaches, is learning, or learns. It's the action of doing it right now. So as you can see on the right, there's the endings to present tense verbs, ost, mus, tis, nt. And these depend on the pronoun the verb is acting on. So as you can see, the first ending is o and it correlates to I. I am running, right? And then it goes down the list. So it's important that you remember the endings in Latin, what they correlate to in English, and then the Latin pronouns. How to apply conjugation of Latin verbs. So most Latin verbs come in the infinitive form, which means to blank, to teach, to throw, right? So it ends in ere, ire, or are, depending on the verb. So to conjugate a verb into present tense, you take the infinitive form on the end of the verb off and replace it with the ending of a present tense depending on the subject of the sentence. So if I have the Latin verb dictate, which means to say, I can conjugate it to dictate, which means he, she, or it says, and dicto means I say, because o ending means first case of the verb, which means I. That's all for lesson 1, and thank you for listening. Wale!